In potentially the final trio cash cup that we ever got to see, we got the answer to so many of our questions, including how are the best teams looking on both NA and EU, who is actually going to be looking better in the Peterbot versus Epic Whale off spawn fight, and the Verdoxy versus Tayson one as well. And like we always do in these cash cups, so much drama too. Real quick before this video starts though, please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. Trying to hit 1,000 supporters on the code, so I appreciate every single person that does use code KDOG. Follow me on my Twitch or come back here on the day of globals if you guys want to watch the global championships with me. And I truly do love and appreciate everybody that stopped by the stream today as well. Without further ado though, we got a lot to talk about. Let's get this video started. So the trio that finished in first place on NA was none other than Khanada, Bolts, and Rapid. This was probably their best ever tournament performance, besides maybe like the first ever cash cup they played together where they won 3 out of the 6 matches in it. But in this one today, they finished with 460 points, won 2 out of the 6 matches, and tied for the second most elims in this tournament, getting 46 total elims while also having an average placement of 2.5. Like, the consistency that this trio showed today was absolutely disgusting. They got a 12 elimination second, 11 elimination second, 6 elimination fifth, 7 elimination win, 7 elimination win, and a 3 elimination fourth. So their worst game of the day was a 6 elimination fifth. And that really does just go to show what you need to do to be able to beat Peter's trio. And you best believe Khanada had some words for him after the tournament as well. So let me roll that clip for you guys.
Come on, boy! I'm prime! I'm prime! Who can stop Peter? Who's gonna stop Peter? It's me, motherfucker! Let's go!
Khanada's trio is looking absolutely primed up right now going into globals. Their last 4 placements from Grands is 3rd place in Grands, 7th place in the Div Cup, 5th place in the Div Cup, and then 1st place in the Div Cup today. I think also for me now, I have to say that they are currently the 3rd best team on all of NA, and I have to unfortunately move Clix down to that 4th place spot, even though we still had a very respectable performance today that we'll talk about in a little bit. But Khanada, Bolts, and Rapid have just shown not only more consistency, but also more winning potential as well, and I think I have to reward them with being now a top 3 trio on NA. Second place, somehow, some way, the trio of Peterbot, Code, and Ritual were almost able to win the cash cup in only 5 total games when they were contested by a whole separate land trio off spawn as well. They finished with 417 points, won 1 out of the 5 matches, and got far and away the most elims. They almost had 20 more elims than the second highest trio because they finished with 65 total elims today, while also being the second most consistent team, getting an average placement of 4.6. Their match history was a 14 elimination 4th, 20 elimination win, 13 elimination 3rd, 14 elimination 4th, and a 4 elimination 11th. If you're curious on what the off spawn score was between Peter's team and Epic Whale's team, it was 5-0 in favor of Peter today, and I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't even necessarily close. Epic Whale, Victor V, and Paper finished in dead last today with only getting 6 points in 6 total matches, and going into game number 6, they had dead 0 points on the board. They weren't able to get a single elim onto Peter's trio until the very final game, and in that very final game, where Peter's team was fighting for a potential cash cup win, Ritual was able to clutch up a 1v2. Wait, they're about to get points on the board here, chat.
He's one though.
Get the full kill. Oh my gosh. Wait,
Watch your back, your back.
it's a 2v1. Wait, who is left? Cold goes down, and it's only Ritual. It's Ritual in a 2v.
I had a 2-way white and then, oh my god, bro.
Cracks Paper, ends up going down, then it's only Ritual. Ritual has what? Shotgun, pistol, shotgun, SMG, 2v1 scenario, under the staircase, kills Paper, 98 white onto Epic Whale, and then takes down Epic. Wow. Something that was kind of insane to me about this off spawn fight is Victor V's dad actually, after the tournament, went on to say that they're just gonna focus the weak link of the trio in Ritual, and this was Peterbot's response to that.
We're gonna focus the weak link, Ritual. We're just gonna focus him, bro.
He's not a weak link anymore.
I'm not gonna lie.
He's definitely the weak link.
Yo, wait, hold on. After what he just did with the 1v2,
1v2,
that's a weak link.
bro. He was
Okay,
listen.
all right, you want to go
listen.
for weak links? All right, let me go for the weak links too. Then I'll just go for your whole trio because they're all weak links. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
I'm gonna defend my boy. I'm gonna defend my boy. Like what? You
Listen,
all
we go. Y'all on 0. We all gonna be on the same ping. We all gonna be on 0.
Wait, what
right?
does ping have to do with any of like the drops and shit though?
Nothing. Nothing.
All right, we gotta
Nothing.
practice a little more. Just make sure you don't
All
leave the drop spot, please. I need those kills. Yeah.
Yo.
Hey, you know you triple con. It ain't just us.
Oh, he ain't worried about.
I just like don't really understand the perspective from Epic Will's team. You literally lost 5-0 off spawn today. You could make the ping excuse, I guess, but they weren't even really like 50-50ing any of the drops that they had in general today. Like literally one of the games, Epic Will and Paper had double shotguns when Peter had a DMR, and then Peter was still able to win the off spawn.
Oh, the raid
Look, I was like Tifu picking with a DMR above them. Look.
That's just fucked, bro.
What is he doing? Bro, dude, they have double shotgun, by the way.
How is he 90 HP? Did someone hit him out the air?
Look,
But as of right now in this current moment, Peter, Cold, and Ritual are still triple contested off spawn at Dystopia. And I think if they were just single contested by Epic Will's trio, I would honestly say they have a chance to win. But with there being a third team there, and we literally have zero clue how good they're going to look off spawn, things are still looking pretty rough for Peter, Cold, and Ritual in terms of how their actual global championships could go. But at the end of the day, no matter what, this team to me is still the best trio in the entire world. They've been the most consistent Cash Cup team, getting first, second, and second. Literally got second place today while being conned every single game and not even loading into game number 1, 2. If this team was like fully uncontested at this drop spot in globals, I think they would be like far and away the favorites to win the whole thing. But like I just said, I don't necessarily love their off spawn situation right now. I think they do still have top 5 potential, however, even with them being triple contested. Third place, finishing out the season, getting their best Cash Cup placement of the whole season, is Clix, Yamzo, and Higgs on 350. They were not able to win any games today, but they did finish with 35 total elims and had an average placement of 5.0 as well. Their match history was a 5 elimination 11th, 6 elimination 6th, 6 elimination 3rd, 6 elimination 4th, 5 elimination 3rd, and a 7 elimination 3rd. They continue to look super consistent now. They haven't necessarily been like trading a crazy amount, but they still have been doing it enough to where their surge is decent enough that they're able to get consistent end games. Also want to give a huge shout out to Yamzo and Higgs because they had a crazy duo clutch together that I think really saved not only the vibes on this trio, but also just their chances to place top 3 in general. I really don't know how I feel about this trio going into globals. I feel like me personally, I'm still higher on them than a lot of other people are, but I don't know if I'm as high on them as saying that they could potentially get like a top 5 at globals. I definitely think they're a top 10 trio, but I don't know what exact range I really want to put them in right now. Clix even said himself that the vibes have pretty much been repaired on their team after not streaming for about a week. And if you know Clix at all, he is a major vibes player, and so if the vibes are good on this team, I think all 3 of them between Clix, Higgs, and Yamzo would have to be playing like their best ever Fortnite to potentially win globals. But this is a very good confidence boost for the last tournament of the season. Fourth place was Adri's Acorn and Poyo on 330. They didn't necessarily have like the craziest Cash Cup of all time, but still they had a very good tournament. In the very final game, they ended up keying into Dystopia City to try to wipe Peterbot's trio, but at the exact same time, Khanada, Boats, and Rapid were there too because they had the exact same idea. And so Poyo's team ended up kind of griefing themselves trying to take down Peter in the final game, but still their match history before that was a 6 elimination 6, 9 elimination win, 2 elimination 10th, 14 elimination 5th, 11 elimination 9th, and a 4 elimination 18th. They've still shown that they can absolutely frag out when they need to. I still think they are the second best team on NA and potentially even a top 2 or even top 3 trio in the entire world. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section down below, but I think the actual jump coin went 3-3 today, like dead even. Half of the games that landed at Demons and then half of the games that landed at Dystopia, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. And the only game that Poyo was able to win today was the game that they got the jump coin. So that is a little bit of an interesting side note to maybe keep track of for the future now, but I still think they are just fine and 100% a team that could win this global championships. So our entire top 4 was all of our LAN teams. Moving on with the rest of the leaderboard now, the last time we're probably ever going to get to see these trios play together, we have like 5th place of Threats Ozone in Chimp, 6th place of Chance's trio, 7th place of G Money Josh in Rise, 8th place of Seek Mason and Golden. Back to our LAN teams though is 9th place of Reek Cooper and Curly. Do I think they're a top 10 LAN team? As of right now, I'm gonna have to unfortunately say no. They've been kind of just borderline top 10 the entire season on their own region, so I don't really know how I can confidently say that they're gonna be a top 10 team at a global championship. Another team that I'm kind of leaning the same way for is Mud Shadow and Sphinx on 203. They only got 18 total elims, which was the least amount of elims in the entire top 10. For a trio that had a super disgusting grand finals performance, I kind of want to never count these guys out, but they just haven't really looked that good so far this season. Some of the other big names we had outside that top 10 was 11th place of Void, Eshu, and Booga on 183. Very curious on who Booga is actually going to duo with now, since pretty much all of the major trio tournaments are done. I think we only have one more Eval Cup before Globals. 12th place was Visuals Braids and Diminished on 182. They started off this tournament hot, getting a 6 elimination win, and I thought this was finally going to be the good Visuals Braids and Diminished Cash Cup performance, but then after that, they only got one other game inside of the top 10, and so unfortunately for this trio, this 12th place is still their best placement that they have had all season long. We also had like Aviv, Skittles, and Virgo in 13th, and then that was about it for all of our big names and LAN teams today. Moving on to the final statistics now, the highest damage ratio was Bolts with a 2.36. Khanada, Bolts, and Rapid absolutely loved how they were playing today, how they're most likely going to be playing Globals as well. Just surge trading every single game, playing consistent, following the script to their game plan. Absolutely loved their playstyle today. The most damage to players was Agers with 8,258. Cold and Lead, yet another finals with the most elims, getting 27 total elims, but right behind him is Peter with 26. Third place was Pollo, fourth of Mason, fifth place of Rapid. So the IGL actually led in elims for the trio that won the Cash Cup today. Very surprised to not see Bolts in this top 10 at all, because we have like Clix in 6th, Khanada in 7th, Chimp in 8th, Agers in 9th, and then Batman Joe in 10th. The most assists was also Khanada as well, and then Bolts was in 2nd, and then you can see all of the other stats here as well if you're curious about those. Also, completely forgot to mention this because it was just a total non-factor, but we did not get to see a single Clix versus Khanada at the pond fight today, and I'm not sure if that's going to be a preview of Globals, and all of those guys were just all talk this whole time, and then neither of them are even going to end up fighting. But today we did not see it a single time. Literally straight banger after banger after banger for tournaments on NA this season. Let's actually move on to our last look at our EU trios now. Now in EU, is it safe to say that they are finally back, the winners of potentially the last ever EU Trio Cash Cup? It is Veno, Vico, and Flixie. They finished on 355 points, so they won this tournament by 57 total points, won 1 out of their 6 matches, got the most total elims in this tournament, and were also the most consistent trio of the day as well, getting an average placement of 6.1. The trio's match history today was a 3 elimination 6, 3 elimination 15th, 6 elimination 3rd, 6 elimination 8th, 15 elimination win, and an 8 elimination 4th. I saw some things that Flixie is potentially the new end game IGL for these guys, and that might be the thing that was finally able to flip the switch for them and get them back on pace to looking like one of the best teams in the entire world. I hope the vibes are good on this trio, man, because as things stand right now, they are currently uncontested at Canyons Crossing for Globals, and out of that drop spot, I think they can 100% have LAN winning potential. But if something does happen that we have been talking about recently, of Coyota potentially going and surprise conning them at Globals, then it is going to be rough. But this is definitely absolutely huge for a confidence boost for this trio now, and you guys know Vico is my boy, so I'm hoping that they're able to perform. Second place, one of the most surprising teams of this season, of Karmbek, Shark, and Blaha. They finished with 298 points, weren't able to win any games, but also got the 3rd most elims, finishing with 34 total elims. This trio's placements in the Trio Cash Cup Finals this season were 1st, 5th, and 2nd place. They were probably the most consistent team placement-wise in all of EU, and they don't even have a LAN spot, and they didn't even make grands last season. It's kind of unfortunate that this is most likely the final time we are ever going to get to see this trio compete in a meaningful tournament together. But still, either way, super fun trio to watch, and they looked very good. 3rd place, back to one of our LAN teams. It was iDrop, Hari, and Cammy. They finished on 266 points, won 1 out of their 6 matches. They started off their first 3 games so strong, getting an 8 elimination 2nd, 9 elimination win, 1 elimination 8th, and then they did kind of slow down after that, getting a 1 elimination 22nd, 4 elimination 9th, and a 1 elimination 12th. This trio finished off the season getting 4th, 13th, and 3rd in the 3 Div Cup finals. And as of things stand right now, I think this probably has to be a locked top 10 prediction for you guys for global championships. They're never going to rack up the most elims or nothing like that, but this team knows how to make it into end games. They know how to search trade, and Cammy is also just one of the greatest LAN players of all time. I guarantee they have some crazy strats cooked up with BloodX. This is going to be a very sneaky trio at globals. Fourth place was Dexy, Kashi, and Firen on 238. Fifth place was Pixstorm and Demus on 232. Another one of our LAN trios. And when you look at their match history, it's literally the exact thing that I was complaining about for this trio last week. I said they have such high upside as a trio, but their match history is never consistent at all. And in today, it literally was the exact same thing. They got a 0 elimination 24th, 7 elimination 2nd, 0 elimination 15th, 1 elimination 16th, 12 elimination 2nd, and a 3 elimination 5th. Like, I was really hoping today that they just came out and were able to fix their consistency issues, and in hindsight, they were still able to finish top 5, which is still super impressive, and they are going to be fully uncontested at LAN. I think this is another top 10 globals trio, but it's going to be hard for them to potentially break into that top 5 at globals if they don't start showing some more consistency. Sixth place, another trio they could probably say a lot of the same things for, was Chat, MrSavage, and Rezon on 219. Something that was very impressive and a very positive sign for them was they did finish with the second most elims in this entire tournament with 38 total elims. They pretty much have the exact same strat that they have been going with for the entire season, which is literally just W key for Surge every single game. They gotta have some similar strats to that cooked up for globals, because this team literally like barely surge trades at all. I am still a bit concerned for how their surge is actually going to look at LAN, because keying at LAN is a lot different than keying in a Div Cup finals. But at the same time, this trio got a 4 elimination 21st, 8 elimination 7th, 8 elimination 10th, 11 elimination 3rd, 4 elimination 20th, and a 3 elimination 23rd. Chap continues to look like one of the best fraggers on all of EU. Their end games at time can be a little bit sloppy still, and they can overheat a little bit, which does take away from some of the extra placement that they could have potentially got. This season to me was almost 10 times better than all of their performances from last season. They got back-to-back 6th places in the finals and then 5th place with Vidil 1 week. So they literally had an average placement of 5.6 in the Cash Cup finals. I think this is about as good of a potential season that this team could have asked for, but a lot of their globals performance is going to be based on what their actual strategy is going to be. 7th place was CZB, 8th place was Vidil, 9th place was Swizzy, Queasy, and Murstache. A little bit of a disappointing performance for this trio today. I honestly don't even really know how to evaluate like half of the teams on EU right now. Like Queasy's trio literally like absolutely dominated last week, won the entire thing, and then this week he only had 2 games inside of the top 10 where we got a 10 elimination win and a 2 elimination 8th. And like his off spawn situation didn't really change at all. He was still fully uncontested. I wonder if he had some difficulty trading with teams, so he wasn't able to get his surge. I mean, Queasy himself literally said that they played bad. At the same time though, pretty much all of our super big name teams have been massively inconsistent this season, so I'm not necessarily like super worried about them either. And then rounding off the top 10 was Sky Scroll and Sand Guild on 179. So our other LAN teams that are outside of the top 10 is like Focus, Mixin, and Upple in 11th. 12th place, probably one of the main storylines of this week on EU, is Chino, Pablo, and Ferdoxy. They were able to get their get back onto Tayson's trio. They beat them 5-1 off spawn, and then they were able to go on and finish in 12th place, getting 171 points, while Tayson's team finished in 28th place. I think for Ferdoxy though, this is exactly what they needed to get their confidence back going into the LAN event now. Them not even winning a single fight in week 1 was just absolutely insane and almost uncalled for what is supposed to be one of the best off spawn fighting teams in the entire game. And so now this week they were able to show everybody why they still got it, and that is going to conclude the off spawn score in the Div Cups at 6-5 in favor of Tayson's trio. For how I actually want to predict this off spawn fight at globals, just like an early little prediction, I'm probably leaning towards like an 8-4 in favor of Ferdoxy. Let me know what you guys think about that though in the comment section down below. I think it would be a very entertaining fight either way. We saw so much drama on both Twitter and just in people's chats as well of Tayson basically accusing them of macroing. In 21st place, their first Div Cup finals of the season was Pingwax and Malabuka. They were contested off spawn today, and they ended up going 3-3 off spawn versus just like a completely random trio. I'm not gonna lie, definitely not the best look for their off spawn rep, which was already relatively low. I've seen some people talking about the potential of Malabuka's trio getting surprise conned at LAN as well, just because of how bad they have looked there in general. And then in 24th place, I really have no clue what happened to Venya, Pixie, and Marius today. They weren't able to load into one of their matches, but at the exact same time, in the 5 games that they did load into, they only placed top 10 one singular time, getting a 2 elimination 6th, while having the OXR base fully uncontested for every single game that they played. Their placements in the Div Cup finals this season are 7th, 11th, and 24th now. I mean, I really just don't even know what to think about these guys as of right now. Now for the final statistics, the highest damage ratio is Nathan with a 1.86. We also had Chap in second though with a 1.77, which I want to highlight because that is so impressive for him being almost first on this leaderboard while barely trading Surge at all. The most damage to players was Veno with 6,326, and then the most elims was also Chap with 22 total elims. The rest of the leaderboard was Ferdoxy in second, Veno in third, Combeck in fourth, Vico in fifth, Vostroki in sixth, Eyedrop in seventh, Skyjump in 8th, Shark in 9th, and then Remorse in 10th. Honestly, for MrSavage's team, if they had a good last game, there was a real chance that they could have potentially finished top 3 in this tournament. If they're able to fix their consistency issues, Chap looks like he could be one of the best players in the entirety of Globals, and he even has LAN experience as well, quite literally placing top 10 just in last year's Globals in general. The most assists was Vico, Time and Storm was Sky, and then you can see all of the other stats right here as well. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try our best to upload daily competitive content for you guys. If you guys want to support me even more, the best way to do so is by using code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop. Trying to hit 1,000 supporters on the code, so I appreciate every single person that does use code KDOG. Want to give one more big thank you to every single person that just watches and supports. I truly do love and appreciate all of you guys. YouTube says I'm enjoying 22 videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.